faster, then have other things that you're not looking as forward to right around that same time, and it'll come quicker than you want it to. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, you guys are on your absolute best behavior. I'm gonna stop talking, and you will continue listening. All right? Thank you, Ms. Birch.
Thank you. Miss Holloway, I don't know
Wow,
if you can really see this board very well. Are you good, Miss Holloway?
I can't see. It's blurred. Like, I think you have the camera on blur.
Be quiet.
You know, it,
Mm-hmm.
open video options. I have mine on
It says
standard
back-
blur.
See, mine's clicked on none.
Okay. Well, I don't know why. 'Cause now I can see it. I can see it now. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that perfect.
Great. All right, guys. So I told you on Friday. First of all, hi. How are you doing? Everybody good? Hi. So I told you on Friday that I was going to bring you some candy today because it's my last day with you guys. Now, what I didn't say was you have to earn that candy, right? But it's okay. It's going to be easy to earn it because we're going to start with the quizzes as a reminder, a refresher for the things that are going to be on our quiz tomorrow and what we talked about on Friday. Okay. So first we're going to do our quiz and then we're going to do the next part. So you should all have a dry erase board and a marker. We're actually working in pairs. Sorry. So you guys can pick a partner and pair up. So go ahead and have your partner. Give me thumbs up when everybody has their partner. Three's is fine.
Wait, what's your name?
Miss Birch.
It's Jason. Can we choose partners? You choose partners across the table.
No, we're going to sit here.
Wait, so we can't choose partners.
This is your partner. Yeah. And you guys can decide with your partner, do you each want to take turns writing the answer? Do you want one person to write it? Y'all decide. Doesn't matter to me. No. Don't get onto this. We're going to do it together. Yeah, go ahead and shut your computers, please. Y'all don't need them right now. Yeah, everybody close your computer. We're going to do this one together as a class. All right. So we're going to continue talking about the economic systems of Mexico, Cuba, and Brazil. We're going to do our refresher. I'm going to read the questions out loud. You guys are going to write the answer on the board. Just write 1, 2, 3, or 4. You have to write all of the words. Okay. After I read the question, you're going to quietly discuss it with your partner, come up with an answer, write it on one board. If you cannot agree, then write both of your answers. We're going to go over them together. If you get it right, you'll see your sticky notes. Yeah. You're going to put a tally mark on there for every question that you get right. Later in class, you're going to turn this in for that many pieces of candy. Oh. I told my husband little candy. He bought you guys a little bit bigger candy. So you're going to have a lot of candy today.
Yeah.
That's right.
How many?
10. Yeah. I'll show you later. Anything what? Oh, with your braces. I have some different choices. Okay. I have some chocolate. I heard that not bringing chocolate's not acceptable. I got you, girl. So we have different kinds. All right. You guys ready? Remember, we're going to talk quietly. Do not hold up your board until I ask you to. Here we go. All right. What is the continuum that shows the range of economic systems based on their degree of economic freedom, spanning from pure command to pure market? So that was that arrow thing that has command on one end, market on the other end. What is that continuum? 1, the production continuum. 2, the economic continuum. 3, the market continuum. 4, the command continuum. You don't have to raise your hand because everybody's going to show their boards in a minute. On this quiz, we have 10 questions. Everybody can get 10 pieces of candy. if you get it right. So what is the name of that continuum? All right, does anybody need more time? Thumbs up if you need more time. More time? So what is the name of that continuum? Number one, production continuum. I need this for Ethan. Yeah. Number two, the economic continuum. Three, the market continuum. Four, the command continuum. All right, let's show our boards. Looks like everybody said number two. Good job, everybody. Yes, it's the economic continuum. We're talking all about economics. If you got that right, everybody did, you're going to put one tally mark on your sticky note. All right, this one's true, false. So you can just write T for true, F for false. True or false, there are no true pure command or pure market economies. True or false, there are no true pure command or pure market economies. Right, T or F.
Can you also write false T or F?
Or if you're an overachiever, write false or true.
Wait, what's overachieve?
That means you go above and beyond. You're achieving over what you have to. All right, let's see those boards. True or false?
What?
Oh, okay. I see some of each, so let's talk about it. On that continuum, you have command, pure command at one end, pure market on the other end. But everything in between is mixed. There are no pure command and no pure market. It's mixed economies. So that was, there are no true. That's true. There are no true pure command, pure market economies. It's all mixed. It might be leaning towards one, mixed, leaning toward command, mixed, leaning toward market, but there's no true market and true.
Zero, no 100.
There you go. That's why everything is in the middle of that continuum, somewhere between 0 and 100. That was true. If you put true, you get a point.
Easy.
If you missed it, it's all right. You got more chances for more candy. All right, what 3 Latin American countries have we been learning about? Number 1, Canada, Brazil, Mexico. 2, Mexico, Cuba, USA. Ignore these letters, guys. 3, USA, Mexico, Brazil. 4, Mexico, Cuba, Brazil. What 3 Latin American countries have we been learning about? All right, hold the boards up. Nice. So this is one of those where you don't even have to know what we've been talking about because look, it says 3 Latin American. Is Canada,
No.
Latin America? No.
No.
USA?
No.
No. USA again?
No.
No. So D. Everybody got that right, so everybody gets a point. Great job. All right, next, what kind of economic model is one in which the government of a nation makes all the economic decisions? So the government makes all the economic decisions. 1, command. 2, market. 3, a mixed economy leaning toward command. 4, mixed economy leaning toward market. What kind of economic model is where the government makes all of the economic decisions? 1, command. 2, market. 3, mixed leaning toward command. 4, mixed leaning toward market. Anybody need more time?
I do.
1, 2, 3, or 4. Anybody need more time? All right, let's do the boards. Most people are saying 1, and a few people are saying 3. Let's look. So if we're talking about an economic model with the government, what am I thinking of? Command. Now it says makes all of the decisions. The people aren't helping. It's just the government. So y'all are right. That's A or 1. Command economy. Now, if we said the government and the people, thank you, then that would be mixed. But we're just saying.
Mr. Baker, can we have Isabella Montalvo for checkup?
Yes.
Thank you.
Isabella, how many do you have right? I'll get you some candy, girl. So that was 1, command. Good job. All right, next, what kind of economic model is one in which the people of a nation make all the economic decisions? So the last question was the government makes all. This one is the people make all. Is that 1, command, 2, market, 3, mixed economy leaning toward market, 4, mixed economy leaning toward, well, I said wrong, command, and then leaning toward market. So the people make all of the economic decisions. Command, market, mixed, leaning toward command, mixed, leaning toward market. Anybody need more time? Hear you guys discussing it. Great job. All right, let's see the boards. Nice, I believe you. Okay, so on this one, it's the people making the decisions. So we're looking at something with market. All, if they're making all the decisions, then that would be pure market. Number 2.
This is the exciting part where like
Nice.
you have the 5th one correct, you get the line through the.
Yes, y'all know how to tally, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, slash 5. You're not there yet. You're gonna be soon. Yeah. So you do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you slash across. Do you know how to do it? That's fine. Only it's when you cross it, then it makes it easier to go and count because every time you see a cross group, you know that's 5. So you're 5, 10. Just makes it easier to count. But that's totally fine too. You can do it how you want it, girl. As long as you know how many pieces of candy you have. All right. We have another true or false. So you can write T or F. True or false. There are no mixed economic systems. True or false. There are no mixed economic systems. All right, let's see the board. I like how everybody does it in their own way. Some of you guys are writing with fancy fonts. I can't either. I'd do those basic false. Good. Everybody false. Very good. They're all mixed. Right? They're all mixed. So that is false. Don't forget to tally for your candy. All right, here we go. This is set number 7. Which of the following best describes a mixed economy? Number 1, an economy that operates without any government intervention. 2, an economy where all decisions are made by the government. 3, an economy that incorporates elements of both market and command economies. 4, an economy based on bartering, which is trading. Which of the following best describes a mixed economy?
What's another word for it?
So an economy that operates with no government interference. 2, the economy where all decisions are made by the government. 3, an economy that incorporates some market and some command economies. Or an economy based on bartering, which describes a mix. Does anybody need more time? All right, let's see it. Very good, everybody. It looks like everybody put number 3. So mixed means, yes, it's got some parts that are like command, some parts that are like market. We have some government intervention. We have people making decisions as well. So it is mixed. Great job, guys. What kind of economic system is found in Mexico? What kind of economic system is found in Mexico? 1, pure command. 2, pure market. 3, mixed leaning toward command. 4, mixed leaning toward market. What kind of economic system is found in Mexico? Anybody need more time? All right, let's see the boards. All right, almost everybody I think got this one. It's mixed leaning toward market. So look at this was a test. We said there's no pure command. So Mexico can't have that. Nope. They can't have pure market. That doesn't exist. Nope. So it has to be one of these 2. Okay. But we know that Mexico is leaning more towards market. It gives the people more say. Sure, you're tallying your candy. Yeah. Yes. It's a mix leaning toward market.
What about Brazil?
Can't tell you because that's coming up. Good question though. Think about it because it's coming up in a minute. What kind of economic system is found in Cuba? Cuba. 1, pure command. 2, pure market. 3, mixed leaning toward command. 4, mixed leaning toward market. Cuba. All right, what do we think about Cuba? Show me your boards. All right, good. Most of you put 3. Mixed leaning toward command. I put 3. I'm at 3. Let's say 2, 3. Sorry. Mixed leaning toward command. Cuba is very close to the command, but they're not pure command. They're still mixed, even though it leans very heavily towards command. So number 3 for that one. Remember, there's no pure command, no pure market. So these are not going to be the answer. It's mixed leaning toward command. All right, you know what question 10 is? It's your question. What kind of economic system is found in Brazil? Brazil. Pure command, pure market, mixed leaning toward command, mixed leaning toward market. What kind of economic system is found in Brazil? All right, are you ready? Let's see. Excellent. So Brazil is like Mexico. It has a mixed economy leaning toward market. So Mexico and Brazil, mixed leaning toward market. Cuba, mixed leaning toward command. So Brazil is market 4. All right, excellent job. We're gonna collect your whiteboards and your markers. And I need you guys to get out that economic table that we completed on Friday. Keep it, hold your sticky note for later. We're not done earning candy.
Give me that chance.
Where's the Max?
Markers.
What was Max? Candy?
I counted how many are right.
So go ahead and get out your economic chart and a pencil. We're passing something out. Don't say what it is. It's a question coming up. Somebody asked, what's the max amount of candy you can earn? I don't put max on candy. But you guys did a great job on our quizzes. That shows that you're going to be ready for your quiz when you take it. Tomorrow, yeah. Different with it. It should look like this. We did it Friday. We're finished it Friday. As long as you have at least one with your partner. Yeah, y'all can work together. It's okay. And you'll need a pencil so we can do this diagram.
Thank you, Maddie, for having on your chart. Thank you, Avery. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you, Brittany. Yago.
You guys have your chart.
Oh.
Making sure at least one of the pair has one. Yes, sweetheart.
Thank you, Alana. Thank you, Anaya.
Can you look on with her?
There was, you were absent on Friday, right? So I'll get you.
Thank you, Connie's Row. Thank you, Saran. Thank you, Reza.
I don't see them.
We got one up here. Here you go. You can use this one. All right, so let's look at our learning objective for today. We are going to be comparing and contrasting the similarities and differences between the basic types of economic systems found in Mexico, Cuba, and Brazil. So we've been doing that, but today we're going to put it on this thing. Who knows what this is called? Raise your hand.
A Venn diagram.
It's a Venn diagram. Good. Sometimes we see it with the 2 overlapping circles, but you can also have 3 overlapping circles to compare 3 things.
Triple then.
The triple Venn diagram.
Sometimes
Let's not get too fancy.
no, I'm serious.
All right. So I'm gonna put this up right.
Oh, I have to. Sorry.
All right, so I said we were going to compare and contrast. Who can tell me what it means to compare? Yes, to see the similarities. How are they the same? What do they have in common? So I can compare an apple and an orange. I can say they're both fruit. They're both round. I like it. We can eat both. We get juice from both. So you might not have noticed I said both a lot. So when we're thinking about same, what do they both have? What do they both do? What about point if I ask you a question and you get it right, give a point. Point for Venn, point for similarities. Good. Who can tell me what it means to contrast? Exactly. To tell how two things are different. So if I'm looking at the apple and orange again, the apple is red, yellow, green. However, the orange is orange. The apple is kind of crisp. However, the orange is soft. I can eat the apple without peeling it. However, I'm going to peel the orange before I eat it. So when we're contrasting, we can use the word however. Okay. Point for that. Good job. All right, so you all have your Venn diagram. So we're going to compare and contrast. First, I'm going to do part of it myself, and then you guys are going to work with your partner and we're going to finish it together. Okay. All right, so we're going to use the information from our chart to help us fill this out. I just gave my chart away, so y'all are going to have to help me. I'm going to have it right here. I'm just kidding. All right. So let's first look at the economic systems. So looking at your table, let's look at the economic systems of the three countries. So I see that two of them are mixed, leaning toward market. I need to label. I'm jumping the gun. We got to label our diagram right here. Mexico. So your pink circle, it might look, yeah, it looks pretty pink on there. Pink is going to be Mexico. Right, Mexico next to, at the top of your pink circle. And your yellow is going to be Brazil. Which leaves Cuba down here at the bottom. So reminders about how our Venn works. All this right here is for things that are just found in Mexico, which is your pink, just found in Mexico. In this section, just found in Brazil. And in this section, just found in Cuba. Then where the circles overlap, that will be for both. So in this area right here would be Brazil and Cuba. And in this area right here, Mexico and Cuba. And this one up here, Mexico and Brazil. Do y'all have any questions about that part?
No. I thought the middle was like all like.
Yes, that's where I'm going next. So right here, this tiny section is where we're supposed to put the things that all three have in common. We might have to write out of the section just a little bit, but it's fine. So yes, this section would be for all three. If it pertains to Mexico, Brazil, and Cuba, it goes right there. All right, does anybody have any questions about how the Venn diagram works? All right, now let's talk about the economic systems. So when I look at Mexico, I see that they are mixed leaning toward market. Brazil, mixed leaning toward market. Cuba, mixed leaning toward command. So since Brazil and Mexico both are the same, I'm going to write it in this section right here. So we're going to write mixed, leaning toward market. Mexico and Brazil. And then for just Cuba, I'll write mixed leaning toward command. Anybody need more time? All right, next, let's look at our chart for the arable land. Arable land. That's the amount of land that can be farmed. When I'm looking at that, I'm noticing that every country, all these three countries have millions of acres of arable land. Even Brazil, their percentage is low, but because Brazil is so big, they still have millions of acres of arable land. So I'm going to put arable land in the middle section. Just saying all three have a good amount of arable land. Remember, it's this little, almost looks like an upside down triangle. Yep. All right, next I want us to look at the natural resources. So check out your natural resources column. So I'm going to be going through and I'm going to look for any resources that might be listed under more than one country. I'm going to take a note of that. And then which ones belong only to certain countries. So when I'm looking under Mexico, I see petroleum, but I see petroleum other places. So I'm going to forget petroleum for a second. But only Mexico has silver, copper, gold, and zinc. So I'm going to write those resources under Mexico. Silver, copper, gold, and zinc, Mexico. And then for petroleum, I see that across the three. So I'm going to write petroleum in the middle. Cuba, Mexico, and Brazil all have that resource, petroleum. What's petroleum? Gas, things like that. Yep, good job. So we wrote that in the middle section because it's for all three. All right, I'm going to look at Brazil next. I'm looking to see if anything crosses over. On this part, I'm still doing it, but on the next part, I'm going to be asking you guys some more, okay? So only Brazil has iron ore and hydropower. So I'm going to write those two under Brazil. I didn't see it under any of the other countries. If y'all have any questions as we go, raise your hand. And then I see that Brazil and Cuba both have timber. What's timber? So Brazil and Cuba have timber. So I'm going to write it in this section right here where the two circles overlap between Brazil and Cuba. Yes. What's zinc? Some kind of element. Something you mine for.
It's mineral.
Find in the ground.
Yeah. All four of those things are things you dig out of the ground. Things they would dig out of the ground. And then let's look at Cuba. Cuba is the only one that has cobalt and nickel, more things we can mine for. So I'm going to write that under Cuba. All right, does anybody have any questions so far? Because next you guys are going to be helping me.
So we're going to look at literacy rate, poverty rate, and industries. So you can talk with your partner or your triple team quietly, and then I'm going to call on volunteers to answer. So first, let's look at the literacy rate. What is a literacy rate? What does that mean? Exactly. So it's the percentage of people in the country that are able to read and write at a good proficient level. So when we're talking about literacy rates, yes. Thank you. What are you seeing then? Tell me.
Like Mexico, Brazil, they have the same.
And what is that? So that leads to exactly, you can give yourself a point, what I was going to say next. They consider literacy rates of 95% or higher to be high literacy rates. So we have two countries with 95%. What about Cuba? 99. So all three have literacy rates above that 95%. So I'm just going to put that in the middle. I'm going to put that all three have high literacy rates. Yeah.
Cuba has 99.
Yeah. Supposedly. Remember, we have to be cautious about things with Cuba depending on where that information came from. Cuba might spin it to be higher than it actually is. But for this, we're going to say all three of them have high literacy rates. So if you're running out of room, you could always put it over here and draw an arrow or just write smaller. I know, I don't know why that section is so small. It's just how it ends up when we have a triple Venn diagram. All right, let's look at poverty rate. So for poverty rate, I'm not necessarily looking for a specific number, but I want us to compare the poverty rates between the three countries. So if we're looking at the poverty rates, what are some things you noticed? Oh, some different people I haven't called on yet.
Cuba has some high poverty rate.
Cuba. Yes, good, perfect. Hold there. I'll let somebody else earn some candy. You get a point for that. Cuba has a high poverty rate. So I'm going to write that under Cuba only. High poverty rate. Yes. What'd you say, sweetheart? How does it compare to Mexico? It's close. Yeah. So to me, those are pretty close. I think we can say that they have similar poverty rates for Brazil and Mexico. You can give yourself a point. I'm going to put that right here. I'm just going to put similar poverty rates between those two. Is it lower or higher than Cuba's?
It's low.
Yeah, so you can remember that.
Such a high, such a high literacy rate. What if there's such a low, at such a high poverty rate?
Yep, that is an excellent question. I think we've talked about that some. They have a high literacy rate and a really high poverty rate too. Why is that?
What do they do?
Because they be lying. They very well could be fudging the numbers on those literacy rates, but it also has to do with their command, mixed leaning toward command economy. People aren't getting to make decisions. The government's making all the decisions. They can't have as many private businesses and things. So that's going to affect their poverty level. Yes.
Brazil has the highest GDP.
Okay. I like that. You can get a point. He's pointing out that Brazil has the highest GDP. So we can write that under Brazil only. What's GDP?
Domestic product.
What does that mean?
Like country has.
Excellent. Yes, Isaac.
Cuba has the lowest GDP.
Cuba has the lowest GDP. Where am I gonna write that, Isaac?
In Cuba?
All right. Very good. Let me see what I have next. Something else. Yeah. He's pointing out that Mexico has the highest GDP per capita. So we can write that under Mexico. All right, hands down for just a minute. I have a couple more that I'm gonna go over, and then if I don't hit what you wanted to tell me, then I'll ask you what you wanted to. All right, so now let's look at our industries. Does anybody see any industries that are in all three that I gotta fit in this box right here? Or this section right here?
Oil and gas.
Oil and gas. Good. I'm gonna write that in that section. Oh, in the back. Trying to get some different people. What else? Mining. 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 Is there another one?
Brazil. Cuba. Oh,
Okay. Let's look at Mexico, and y'all can be talking to your partner about this as well, but I think everybody's going for candy.
we all are.
I know how to motivate y'all. Are there any industries that are only in Mexico? Or are there any that are shared with another country? Food processing is only in Mexico. Wow, aerospace. Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm just looking at my time. And we might not finish all of this today, and that's okay. We're gonna have, when we finish it, we have a writing prompt that we're gonna do. And on your writing assignment, you're just gonna be writing 3 ways that the 3 countries are similar, comparing, and 3 ways they're different, contrasting. But we'll keep doing our Venn diagram until the bell rings. Can you pick on her? Go ahead, sweetie. Brazil and Cuba both have agriculture. Going back to, who told me aerospace? Aerospace. What has aerospace? Mexico. Are there any more that just Mexico has? You have more for Mexico? Yeah, you.
Electronic.
So we have aerospace. Electronics. What else?
Medical devices.
Medical devices. Say it louder. automotive, so making automobiles and things like that. And automotive, medical devices. We had food processing. I think that's what I had for Mexico. What about Brazil? Are there any industries that are only in Brazil? Financial services, Brazil. What is financial services? Finance. Ready? Finance, money things, investing, things like that. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Manufacturing, Brazil. All right, I think we're gonna have to stop there, you guys. We can finish this tomorrow. I also have a completed copy that I'm gonna give you guys, and we have a writing prompt where you would list 3 similarities and 3 differences for the 3 countries. But for now, the bell's about to ring, and we have something very important to do, which is called a candy.
Of course.
You guys did a great job. So, Ms. Wilson's got some. Mr. Baker has some.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bring up your sticky notes, make a line. Okay, go ahead and pack up.
I was with you. If I was here.
You gotta be quick when you're making your decisions, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Okay.
Oh, I don't know that. But I have this.
Okay.
Okay, let me stop the recording.
I ran out of time.